Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, this one will give you wings. Triple Nazareth is a 9.75% Triple New England style IPA from Wax Wings Brewing Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You may have noticed I've been talking about it a little bit more, but I've been picking up more and more beer from Wax Wings in Kalamazoo for a couple reasons. First of all, everything that I've had, their beer is just amazing. Second, it gets me out of the house, which is a nice change of pace compared to the last year that we had. I didn't get to try this one the other weekend when I was in the tap room picking this up, so I'm excited to just kind of get into this. But, you know, we got to look at the label, do all that stuff. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, and Zach for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks available only to patrons. Take a look at the label. So this is very similar to a lot of other beers in Wax Wings kind of portfolio here. So on the front of the can has the stone Nazareth gate drawn, illustrated on the front, which is on top of a picture. What this is Nazareth campus across the street, directly across the street. When you leave Wax Wings, you can see the campus of Nazareth College, which is a Catholic college. It ran in, I think it was in operation until 1992, but a lot of their different beers have Nazareth incorporated into the name. If we turn it onto the backside, it has, it says it's an ale at 16 fluid ounces, 9.75% ABV, brewed and packaged by Wax Wings Brewing Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and then the government warning on the other side. So like I said, I'm just kind of really excited to dive right in. So I'm going to grab my Draft Therapy Tiku glass here. We're going to go ahead and crack it. We'll put a nose on it. I picked this up actually 2 weeks ago, I think, at this point. And I ordered it online on their website. Whoa, a little bit of a pop there. That kind of was, I think, 2 weeks earlier. So I was a little late in picking it up, but thankfully I was able to pick it up. So let's go ahead and pour this. It's actually not coming out as hazy as I would have expected it to be, but we're going to kind of let it pour in there a little bit harder, get a little bit more of a head kicking up there. As you can see, we got about, from the overhead, we got about 2.5, maybe 2 fingers of head on this beer. It is really, I'm kind of surprised it's quite as white as it is. It's pretty white. I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit more of a off-white, you know, just from the color of the beer, but let's go ahead and hold it up. I didn't even sniff the can. Can you believe that? I was so distracted. So it's got a nice yellowish orange kind of look to it. Let's go ahead and, I'm just all out of sorts. Getting a lot of mango, actually, so I'm kind of, a little bit of a dankness, a little bit of a mango aroma. Let's smell it out of the glass here now. The mango comes through a little bit more. I'm losing a little bit of the dankness that I got out of the can, but I'm getting a little bit more of the mango on the nose here. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. I'm ready to dive right in. Cheers. Wow. That is very, very good. It has, again, Wax Wings, very good. Who would have thunk it? So it has a lot of a mango characteristic. Actually, so the mouthfeel, we'll start with the mouthfeel. It's a little bit soft, it's a little bit pillowy. It's got a bit of a kind of, you know, just a really nice soft mouthfeel. It's borderline a little bit on the heavier medium side. It's not light, it's not super crisp, but again, it's not like super heavy and syrupy by any means. So, you know, it kind of follows the New England style IPA, you know, flavor, or I'm sorry, mouthfeel kind of profile you'd expect. The flavor, what you get up front is a lot of this. I've been lately just been this big sucker for pineapple, juicy flavors in IPAs, and that's what this one does. So it just kind of really scratches that itch for me. So it has a really nice pineapple sweetness up front, almost a candied kind of pineapple, and then that changes. It kind of, as it rolls down your tongue, you get more of this mango, and then the bitterness that comes in is just a really kind of subtle and subdued bitterness. And the first time what I got on that first taste, I was thinking about it as I was talking about the mouthfeel, so it kind of threw me off a little bit. But what I was getting was a tiny bit of like a piney bitterness, but on the second swallow, I didn't really get that. The aftertaste, what I'm picking up, is more that kind of mango aftertaste. There is a bit of there is like a bit of a bitter quality in there, but I can't put my finger on if it's a piney or if it's a citrus. Let's try it out again and see if I can pick that up this time. Yeah, it's got this little bit of a resiny, kind of piney bitterness in it. And it's almost kind of surprising because usually when I have beers like this that have that pineapple sweetness, that mango kind of sweetness that it rolls into, generally it's more of a citrus kind of bitterness, or maybe even sometimes a bit of an earthy kind of bitterness. What I'm getting out of this one, because it's so smooth, it's really hard to detect, but to me, what I'm picking up is just a tiny hair of this tiny piney kind of bitterness that just hangs in there for just a second, but then it goes away and it kind of smooths back into this mango kind of sweetness on the aftertaste. So what I'm tasting in the aftertaste is just pretty much mango. And on a quick drink, you get just that little bit of peak of pineapple flavor in there, and then it just really quickly moves into mango. But it's mostly, it starts pineapple, but it's very brief, and it's mostly a big mango flavor, a little bit of that piney bitterness, and then a little bit more of that mango aftertaste that comes through. And 9.75%, when, previous versions, they've released a few versions of this. Previous versions have been 10%. This is 9.75%. It is, it's not boozy at all. This is very dangerous. It's like a beer that you could just drink really quickly and you wouldn't even know, you wouldn't really notice, or at least I don't really notice that there's much of a kind of boozy note to it, which is, obviously a nice thing. So it could be very dangerous. I only got 2 when I went and picked it up, and it's just a nice kind of, I probably only want to have 1 because it has such a strong kind of flavor to it. I might want to switch it up to something else. But also in the back of my mind, realizing that it's 9.75% might kind of divert me from doing that. I want to say, with Wax Wings, this is a brewery, and I said it earlier, they have amazing beer, and this is a brewery, stopping in the tap room and being able to try a bunch of different kinds of their beers that, obviously they don't distribute, so I'm not going to get it on here on the east side of the state. But for Wax Wings, a huge compliment from me is to say that when I go to the west side of the state, especially if I'm going down 94, Wax Wings is a must stop for me at this point, because everything that I've had from them, I've not been disappointed. I had a stout when I was there, which I don't think they do very many stouts, but their stout just was really amazing too. I checked it in on Untappd. If you're not following me on Untappd, check me out. You see the little scroller on the bottom. Check me out on Untappd, but I talk, about these beers sometimes when I stop in these places, especially when I stop in tap rooms. I'll check in beers and kind of leave notes for it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. Triple Nazareth, that's a lot to say, but that's all I really have to say about Triple Nazareth. This is a really great and another really interesting beer out of Wax Wings out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. All right, friends, that has been Triple Nazareth from Wax Wings in Kalamazoo. What's your favorite brewery that you're willing to drive over an hour for? And have you had any Wax Wings stuff before? What are some of your favorites? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Kalamazoo. And most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Cheers.